Part 2: Data types. In Python, data types can be divided into 4 major categories. The first category is numeric types, the second is Boolean types, the third is string types, and the fourth is composite data types. What are the numeric types? Integers, floating point numbers, and complex numbers are all numeric types. Boolean types only have 2 values. One is true, and the other is false. True can be represented by the integer 1. False is represented by 0. Therefore, Boolean types can also be considered as a special type of integer, so they can be classified as numeric types. The third category is strings. Strings are enclosed in a pair of quotes. It can be single quotes, double quotes, or 3 consecutive single quotes or double quotes. The fourth category is composite data types. Composite data types include lists, tuples, and dictionaries. Let's take a look at each one. Let's start with integer types. For example, if we assign the value 1024 to an integer variable num, in Python, you don't need to define the type of the integer in advance. Python automatically determines the type based on the value of the variable. Let's take a look. Is the value of this variable an integer? Alright, now let's look at 3.1415. Assign it to the variable number. What type is this? It's a floating point number. Now, let's look at 3.14 plus 6j. This is a complex number type. Assign it to num. Here we should note that in mathematics, I represents the negative number. Here, we use j. This means that the square of I equals -1. In Python, we uniformly use j. The square of j equals -1. Now, let's look at Boolean types. We assign false to the variable number. This is a Boolean type. For string types, we enclose $san in double quotes and assign it to num. This is a string type. The list type is one of our composite types. Its characteristic is that it is enclosed in square brackets. Each element is separated by a comma. For tuple types, the elements are enclosed in parentheses. Each element is also separated by a comma. Now, let's look at dictionary types. Dictionary types are enclosed in curly braces. Each element is separated by a comma. Its elements consist of 2 parts. One part is the key, the other part is the value. For example, in the first element, the key k is name, and the value is Tom. The value of k is Tom. In the second element, the key k is age, and the value is 18. Next, I will demonstrate for you. We will open the PyCharm environment. We will create a new file. Let's take a look. First, let's define a variable called number. Assign the value 1024 to num. We can print its type. Let's check its type. Run it. The type is int, which is an integer type. Now, let's look at a floating point number. Define num1 equals 3.1415. Similarly, we can check its type. In PyCharm, we can use the shortcut key to input type to autocomplete. This is a floating point number type. Now, let's define a variable num2 and assign it the complex number type 2 plus 5j. Let's check its type. Here, it will guess what we might want to type. If it is the statement we want to output or the code we want to write, we can press the type key. Alright, let's run it again. The program will automatically determine that the type of 2 plus 5j is a complex number. Next, let's define a Boolean type. Define a Boolean variable named true. Similarly, let's output its type. The type is bool, which is a Boolean type. Now, let's define a string type. Earlier, we outputted welcome to Python. Alright, let's check its type. The output is string. This is a string type. Now, let's define a composite data type. The first one is a list, L1. For composite data types like lists, square brackets are used. Elements are separated by commas, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's check its type. The type is list, which is a list type. Now, let's look at the first one. Tuple. Elements are enclosed in parentheses. The elements here can be different. The types can be inconsistent. However, each element is also separated by a comma. Let's check its type. The type is tuple, which is a tuple type. Now, let's define a dictionary type. For dictionary types, make sure to use curly braces. The elements in a dictionary are also separated by commas. Each element has a key value pair. In this format, let's look at the first one. Name, Lily. The key and value are separated by a comma. Age, 18. Let's output this data type. Now, let's check if this data type is a dictionary type. Here, we can see that it says the name has not been defined. So, when writing it, make sure to use the string type for the name. This is our dictionary type. For dictionary types, be mindful. If it contains strings, make sure to write them as string types.